Oh, you want competition? Al Heyman, PBC? Ladies and gentlemen, you now tuning in to Punch Drunk Boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, December 6th, you got a great PBC event, Amazon Prime. Shout out to PBC, TGB, Pitbull, Cruz versus Lamont, Roach, Lara versus Janibek, and you got Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster. Ladies and gentlemen, and you got Ramos and Mosley. This is a great card. This is a great card, but the only thing I want this boxing community, the YouTube boxing community, to keep it real, to keep the same energy, because throughout the years, months, and days, I've been hearing the smear campaign. Hey, yo, PBC and pay-per-view, yo, it's too expensive. Why they gotta put this event on pay-per-view? Why they gotta put this fight on pay-per-view? But y'all never hold Turkey Out Shake accountable. And shout out to Turkey Out Shake. He's doing a wonderful thing in the sport of boxing as well. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the promoters. Shout out to Golden Boy Promotion. They got an event in November. Shout out to Matchroom Boxing. Shout out to Top Rank. Hopefully they get a TV deal or a network deal. You know what I'm saying? That helps the sport of boxing, right? But I only heard this smear campaign on PBC in reference to pay-per-view events, right? And fights that should not be on pay-per-view. Like we heard it with Fundura versus Keith from Tom Thurman. That ain't no pay-per-view event. But, and people like to go back to when PBC and the fighters of PBC was talking about free TV, right? Remember when they got that NBC deal? They was working with ESPN, Spike, right? CBS, Showtime, and stuff like that. And then the boxing fans was critiquing, heavily critiquing PBC for showcasing PBC pay-per-view events, especially during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? When Andy Ruiz was fighting Chris Arreola, the Charlo brothers, you know, double-header pay-per-view. Yo, man, nah, there ain't no damn pay-per-view event. Nah. You know what I'm saying? But Turkey Out Shake also promised free TV. Promised, not free TV, but promised us no pay-per-view. Hey, yo, I pay for the Zone subscription. And every year it gets a little bit expensive. But nobody's complaining. I don't complain. I'm just saying for the people to keep the same energy. We pay for subscription, and then we got to pay for pay-per-view as well. At least one thing PBC don't tell us, yo, subscribe to this, and then pay the pay-per-view and stuff like that, knowing that they're not going to put an event throughout the year, throughout the 12 months. But but a lot of people had a smear campaign on PBC. Why don't y'all keep the same energy with Turkey Out Shake? Why about y'all boxing independent media? Why don't y'all keep that same energy with Turkey Out Shake? And Reha season and stuff like that. Let's just not forget that we had to pay for the who just fought the heavyweight with Fabio and Parker in the US. How much was it? $60? Nobody was complaining. Why? What is it? It's Turkey Out Shake, Wet Willie and Peoples, you know what I'm saying? Grand Canyon? Just keep the same energy. If you're going to be complaining about pay-per-view, I mean, hold everybody else accountable, right? Because in my opinion, I love this event. And I love the event that's going to be coming forth November 22nd out there in Saudi Arabia. That is going to be having David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. Is going to have Devin the Dream Haney trying to be a 3-division world champion and Endeavor to be great to face Brian Norman Jr. I like that event. And I also like this PBC event. See, at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is the boxing world, look, the business model has changed. It is what it is, right? You know, in the hood, you can just go into a basketball court and play for free. But you know what I'm saying? You got to become a member to play in a tennis court. You know what I'm saying? At certain places in New York City, the business model changes. Prices changes. Hey, yo, man, back in the day, not even back in the day, just a couple of years ago, several years ago, man, the gas was cheap. Now I gotta pay a lot for gas. The gallon of the milk was cheap. Now I gotta pay gas. Hey, yo, pork fried rice with chicken wings in the Chinese restaurant. I used to buy for $8. Now the La China is charging me $12. I said, China, what happened? Oh, I tell you, too expensive. Punch on box, too expensive. In the end of the day, business model changes, but it still needs the support of the boxing fans. And I am a boxing fan. I'm a boxing enthusiast. Okay, there's certain events that I'll be like, yo, damn, man, it's too expensive. But at the end of the day, that's where we at in the world. American boxing don't have no American TV deals. We don't got no CBS. We don't got no NBC. We don't got no HBO. We don't got no Showtime. And still, we had to pay a subscription if you want the cable network and stuff like that, right? So, in the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. I like this event. I like how stacked it is. Lamont Roach just came off a potential victory, which a lot of people felt that Lamont Roach did beat Gervonta Tank Davis. Pitbull Cruz gave Gervonta Tank Davis a run for his money. So it's going to go with two guys that actually gave Gervonta Tank Davis a run for their money. However you feel like is a good way to promote it, whatever. Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be facing Jake Paul. Gonna get like $40 million. Shout out to Gervonta Tank Davis for getting that type of money. No hate on that. I'm gonna tune into that fight as well. But also you got Janibek versus Lara. Now that right there, I think is a fight that a lot of people in the sport of boxing is gonna be paying attention to. Why? Because the face of boxing currently right now with North America is Terrence Bud Crawford. And now people want to see what is Terrence Bud Crawford gonna do next. Is he gonna stay in the 168-pound division and defend his undisputed world crown? Or is he gonna go to the 160-pound division and keep on enhancing his legacy and becoming a 6th division world champion and probably a 4th division undisputed world champion if he heads to 160, fight the winner of the unification bout between Janibek and Lara, who both are champions, and then he gets another belt, maybe needs to face the Carlos Adamas or whatever, and then, you feel me, he could just go and become a 6th division world champion and tie Oscar De La Hoya. So I think a lot of people is going to be looking at that matchup, thinking about Terrence Bud Crawford. But I think it's going to be a good matchup. I probably got Janibek probably winning that fight because of youth and stuff like that. If Lara was a little bit younger, I got Lara beating Janibek. I see how Janibek did struggle with Vaughn. Vaughn, the guy that lawsuit just gave Rosado a couple of weeks ago out there at the Barclays Center on the Danny Swift Garcia farewell fight. And then we got O'Shaquie Foster versus Stephen Fulton. Two guys that have a chip on their shoulder and still got a lot to prove in the sport of boxing. Stephen Fulton used to be on my pound-for-pound list when he went out there and faced Naoya Inoue before he got stopped. But he got some good wins versus Brandon Figueroa. He did beat a great when he became a champion, when he beat Angelo Leo. When Angelo Leo was he's a champion right now and it aged pretty well. So you got to give a lot of credit to Stephen Fulton and how he's resurrecting his career. Not only like resurrecting his career because people win and lose, but stuff like that. But he's back into the limelight. He's back in the winning column and stuff like that. There's gonna be a wonderful fight, right? Stephen Fulton, O'Shaquie Foster. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I love this event. Shout out to PBC. And the good thing about this, we need some competitions. Boxing is healthy when it's competition. It's healthy when, PBC and they got their thing and Turkey Al-Sheikh got his thing and there's competition. The only thing that we don't need is people keeping fights away for the potential competition. We want everybody to work together and still have their lane. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Most Valuable Promotion as well, and Jake Paul doing his thing, helping the ladies out there. We need more things popping off in America, and I'm glad that this fight is happening because you know what? We do need these events on American soil. The event out there with Turkey Al-Sheikh is happening in Saudi Arabia. It's not happening here. And I wish that we would have seen that Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney right here. And for David Benavidez to keep on his momentum fighting in pay-per-view in America and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I believe that 2026 is going to be a wonderful year in the sport of boxing. I think that PBC is going to have more great shows. We got the Fundura and Keith on Tom Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Potential fight early in January. Also, we have Manny Pacquiao that's going to return in January as well. I think 2026 is going to be an awesome year. I think this year is kind of a little bit of a letdown. Hopefully, you finish out strong. We got Virgil Ortiz back with Erickson Lubin. I love boxing. You know what I'm saying? We in the ditch right now, but I believe that 2026 we coming right back. Let me know what y'all think. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.